noon Eastern time on Thursday, and now at 12:50 a.m. Eastern time on Friday, the final match is finally underway. Great diving play by Katie Baird to keep Stanford in the first point, and there is Levinska with Elena Ogilvy there on the receive, and that one drops in, and it's a point for Stanford. In front of a loud, enthusiastic crowd that waited patiently for our first match to take 3 hours and 10 minutes before Texas pulled it out.
A marathon of a match, and every point of it was absolutely incredible.
Here's Katie Baird. Ogilvy with the dig. Sent back by Kip. Miner with the set off hands. Diving play to keep it alive. Long rally on the second point. Some contact in the net. And a point for Arizona State.
And Arizona State likes to get Stanford into long rallies and put some pressure on them. Take away first swing kill opportunities that Stanford is somewhat accustomed to because of their big physical offense.
There's Jelly Sear playing really well the last 6 matches, hitting over 300 in each of those 6 matches. Miner, the block goes out of play, the kill for Elia Rubin. And I know you talked about the players we know about like Katie Baird and Kendall Kipp. But Elia Rubin is playing at an elite level for Stanford right now. She may be their best player at the moment.
I absolutely agree. I think she is the X factor in the NCAA tournament. She is leading them with 4 kills per set, more than any other player for Stanford right now.
Shoved over the net by Habello. Battle at the net, sent back. Habello gets the point for Arizona State.
Arizona State will utilize speed of offense, and particularly that's going to be important to Habello when she's going up against Kendall Kipp. She's going to have to find just a glimpse of light in that block between those blockers for her to get one through.
Then over left side, Rubin drops in another one. Elia said yesterday that last year in the NCAA tournament, she was just trying to make it through game by game. This year, playing with confidence, and the sophomore is playing great.
Only a freshman last year, and asked to do a whole lot in 6 rotations, so you can understand why she would feel that way.
Arizona State answers back to tie it again at 3.
McLaughlin out of the middle, and that's not a player that they're going to utilize a whole lot offensively, to be honest with you, but I like the choice of going there early on, try to establish the middle, try to hold that block as much as possible.
Miner sets it back, and that one is going to be off the mark on the swing by Sammy Francis, and Arizona State has its first lead. When you talk about how you think this match is going to play out, and we talked about the 2 sweeps for the 2 teams, it was who controlled the service game and who passed better. And these are 2 great serving teams and excellent passing teams. Who will have the edge today will determine it in the eyes of both coaches. That one's out of play, and Arizona State's up by 2.
Well, that point right there is a great example of what you're talking about, Eric, because it was the serve from Shannon Shields, their setter, that put Arizona State in the driver's seat there. She created an overpass, and they were ahead in that point from the very beginning. That's what they're going to try to do. It's not just about aces, but putting pressure on your opponent. If you can pull that setter off the net and take away at least one hitter, all of a sudden it becomes a lot more defendable.
Cabello rolls it over. Miner goes back on the block. It's Arizona State getting it done defensively, and they are fired up here in set 1.
Arizona State taking the court with a whole lot of confidence, and why would they not? As we said, Stanford's last loss and only loss in conference play came at the hand of Arizona State.
4-0 run right now for Arizona Sate. Back row attack and the kill for Kendall Kipp. There's her first kill of the match.
Such an important weapon for Stanford in their 2-hitter rotations to give them that third option And right now, Arizona State, only one block. Looks like they're trying to commit to Kendall Kipp, and even that block is late getting up. Cami Minor does a good job there.
Oh, good save by Levinska before heading over the chairs at the bench. That one is off the mark. Attack error on Baird and a point for Arizona State. Levinska got there.
That is Arizona State's brand of volleyball, all out. They know that they have to play with a lot of emotion, a lot of intensity. They say they want to be flying around defensively.
That's another attack error for Stanford. They are cold on the attack so far, with the exception of Rubin. Francis and Baird both hitting negative so far.
Eric, you alluded to our marathon match between Tennessee and Texas prior to this, and I was interested to see how these teams would take the floor with what sort of energy after having to wait for so long. But I like the energy we're seeing from both. Make it 2 kills for Kendall Kipp now, coming out of the back row.
That makes it 8-5. And a Pringle will come on to serve for Stanford. Off hands and a point for Arizona State. That's Jelly Sear, who had 9 kills and 8 digs in the win against BYU. And you talked about the impressive win for Arizona State over Stanford. Maybe the most impressive win of the season was the last game for Arizona State, where they swept BYU at Smith Fieldhouse in Provo. Just 4 lead changes in the match.
They were one of 3 teams to pull an upset in the second round, but the only one to do it in sweep fashion. They just dominated round 1 and 2.
On the road. Dug out by Schroll. Set back, here comes Kipp with another attack, and that one is in. And now J.J. Van Niel thinking about grabbing the challenge card, looking down to his assistants. I could just read a couple of them saying, I don't know.
Right. Doesn't want to use it quite this early unless he's certain, and the assistant coach is sitting there right along the end line to convince him to hold it.
He made a quick move over to the card and was talked out of it just as quickly, it looked like. Series blocked. There's Levinska off the block. Stanford hanging in there defensively. Off the hands and a point for Kendall Kipp on the kill.
And that's where Arizona State feels like they can really challenge Stanford if they get them into the long rally. Stanford shows their defensive prowess there, stays with it, and comes up with the big kill to finish it off.
Cami Minor, 2-time Pac-12 Setter of the Year with a service error. First of the match for either side, and Arizona State back in front by 3. Here's Levinska. When she's on from the service line, she is on. She was certainly on against BYU. Good hustle plays. Ogilvy got there, but couldn't keep it in play, and Arizona State up by 4 here in set 1.
And Levinska did her job here with a really nice pressure serve. She creates a one-option situation, but unfortunately for Arizona State in this particular rotation, the one option is Kendall Kipp. That's still a pretty good option, so it still takes an elite defensive play to stop him.
Levinska 5 aces so far in the NCAA tournament. That rolls down the tape. Shields looked for the dump and couldn't clear the net, so it's a point for Stanford. Stanford went 5 in their last match against Houston. Those 2 sets to none lead for Stanford. Then Houston, playing with their backs to the wall, took set 3. That carried over into set 4, but then Stanford hit 353 in the 5th, facing elimination in this building. Levinska with the rip from the back row. That is so dynamic.
It's just long, though.
Oh, it is off the mark. Well, she was pumped up. She thought she had it. No challenge coming, so the Stanford Cardinal get the point.
Katie Baird served that one right at Troll, who passed a perfect ball. We'll see if she goes away from her this time.
And Arizona State out of sync on the set to Sear. And Stanford, despite 6 attack errors in this first set, is within 1.
That ball well off the net from Shannon Shields there. It just didn't look like the location was right for Jelly Sear. They continue to serve down the line here, though, probably hoping to disrupt the flow of the attack coming out of the backcourt from Levinska.
Serve it towards the line. Here comes a better attack here for Arizona State. Minor sets it back for Kip on the kill. Tied at 11.
This is a beautiful push from Cami Minor. Look at her pulled into left front, and the strength of her hands to get it all the way out to Kendall Kipp and to have it right there in that spot where she has every angle to take a swing at that ball.
4-0 run for Stanford to tie it at 11. Claire Jeter there for Arizona State on the block. The middle from Missouri City, Texas. Honorable mention, all Pac-12 selection. 8th in the Pac-12 in blocks percent this season.
And 5 blocks in round 2 against BYU.
That gives her 13 total blocks now in the tournament. Kip kept it alive, but they ran out of room. Couldn't get there in time, and Arizona State back-to-back points after the Stanford run.
And how about another block for Jeter to go along with the 13 you just mentioned that she already had in the tournament?
3 blocks for Arizona State, none for Stanford so far. Ruben Long, point Sun Devils.
Both of these teams pretty fired up. We've seen a couple long swings from both sides. They've been waiting a while. They've got some adrenaline flowing.
And an ace. Arizona State's the first team to 15. They're on a 4-0 run here in set volleyball this season. He wasn't hired until December 29th, so he's been on the job less than a year. As Stanford comes out with a kill out of the media timeout. And Arizona State won 28 games last year. They won 13 matches a season ago. He was in the financial world for 12 years, and we joke with him. We're like, well, you went to the lucrative coaching world. And he's like, yeah, well, I'd like to thank my wife for understanding my craziness about that. But he just wanted to be a volleyball coach and be around volleyball. And I don't even think he could have predicted that they'd be at this point playing Stanford after 2 wins on the road in the NCAA tournament. He was confident that his team would make it to the NCAAs. He's a very confident guy, but to be at this point after how they played in Provo as well with 2 sweeps, very, very impressive.
It's a great story. This is a team that only had 9 players when he was there in the spring. Not enough players to even, scrimmage with one another without help from some male practice players. And he's so analytical coming from the finance world, and yet he said he had to put that on hold and really focus on the people in front of him and build trust and relationships, because he knew that would go so far, and boy, was he right.
Kip finds the opening and gets the kill.
We talked about her athleticism, the height she plays above the net, and there is a great example of that as she's able to go up and over with that tip and push it deep into the center of the court.
That's already 7 kills. And we're midway through the first set. Cabello. That one's going to go off the mark. Stanford did not touch it. And the Cardinal on a 4-0 run. Got a handful of runs so far here in this first set. I think Arizona State's going to call a timeout. Yes, they're going to call a timeout here with 9 in the first set. Arizona at a flat 0 hitting so far. 4 errors for Arizona State, 9 for Stanford here in set 1. Levinska denied. Stanford in front.
This is a two-hitter rotation. Trying to use Levinska out of the backcourt as that third option. Stanford has consistently served into right back and tried to sort of jam up her attack line.
Abello with the swing, and that one drops in, and that ends the 5-0 Stanford run.
And passing is so important for Arizona State because for them to have success offensively, they have to lean into the speed of their attack. And Abello that time goes really fast down the line, and that gives her a good look against Kendall Kipp.
Kipp. That's another one. 8 in the first set for Kendall Kipp.
There is no defending this. This is Kendall Kipp's athleticism on full display, up and over the top, deep into the corner.
16 kills in the 5-set win against Houston. Arizona State gets the point back on the service error, even at 17.
And for as good as Stanford has looked at times, 9 errors from the attack. A couple service errors from Stanford to go along with that.
Francis off the mark. Point Arizona State back in front here in the first.
This is a Stanford team who returned 7 starters from a season ago, who had a very disappointing loss here on their home court in the regional final to San Diego. And Sammy Francis, who you see there on your screen, had just returned to the lineup, had been out for some health issues, just back in the lineup when postseason began. So even though they return everyone, they feel like they're really running on all cylinders, more so than they were a season ago.
Ellie Rubin back to serve for Stanford. Even at 18, set 1 to the best of 5. Levinska. Minor. Good block by Abello with McLaughlin at the net. Baird off hands. Back set Levinska for the kill.
Make it 2 now for Levinska, and it's taken a while to get those 2. If you would have told me Levinska with 2 kills and Kendall Kipp with 8 already, I would not think Arizona State would be leading by 1.
Levinska entered play yesterday, tonight. I got to keep it all straight. 4th in Division I with 554 total kills. On the back row attack.
And if you're Cami Minor, sometimes decision making just isn't that hard. Find Kendall Kipp, get her the ball.
9 kills for Kendall Kipp, hitting .467 here in set 1. Pringle back on to serve. And a service error. That's number 3 for Stanford. So 3 service errors, 10 attack errors for the Cardinal here in set 1.
Yeah, they've been aggressive, sometimes to their detriment, but playing with a whole lot of energy. No back down right now from either of these teams.
Diving play by the libero Schroll to get there. Cini pulled it off the net, and trying to keep it alive with the foot was Sear, to no avail. Point for Stanford, tied at 20. Cami Minor ready to serve for Stanford, even at 20. And almost brushed the scoreboard. Sear off the touch, point Arizona State.
Sear at 5'10" is just such a solid 6 rotation player for this Arizona State team. Really a glue for them, what she does and her consistency.
Minor tried to get it to Vicini, didn't work out, and Arizona State's on top by 2. 5 sets.
Yes.
Just, you know, if you're trying to tell me like a conference matchup is going to go 5, and we just had a 3-hour and 10-minute 5-set match.
Right.
Just to be clear, I may have said 15, 11 attack errors for Stanford, so they pretty much have doubled up the errors.
And the call there was Kendall Kipp under the net. As she made a dive to play that second contact, she went under the net, just couldn't stop her momentum from sliding forward.
She's calling for a towel to come out here after she ducked under, and she ran into Shields. Now, if Kipp made that play and there was no one in the area, they may not have called it. That's one call that they're letting go to let players play. But if there's any sort of contact or anything close to contact, what we've seen throughout this year pretty consistently, is they'll get called, and that's why that was called there.
And it's simply to prevent injury. But it's the result of a tough serve from Levinska, and here's another one.
And that goes long, and it is set point for Arizona State. So you'd say so far the team that's established the control at the service line is Arizona State.
Feels that way. And even though the rest of the numbers don't look so good, they sit on set point.
Another great serve by Levinska has Stanford on their heels here on set point. Sear trying to pick the spot but could not find it. Stanford still alive here in set 1.
Nice job by Stanford of forcing Levinska to play first contact on that free ball, because she was not an option offensively when she came in short to pick up that free ball. This has been a difficult rotation for Arizona State to side out.
Schroll controls it. Sent to Sear, off hands. Minor. Tight one for Rubin, off the block, and Stanford's got another point.
Rubin just blasting off the hands of Shields, a front row setter right now. That's a really nice matchup for Elia Rubin.
Set point number 3 for Arizona State. Levinska had to float it over. Minor was digging for it, and Francis, correction, Rubin, a lot of contact we play on, off hands, diving play to keep it alive for the Sun Devils. Sear finds the spot. Arizona State takes set 1.
Or excuse me, for Arizona State. And it was -9 for Stanford. That is a 10-point swing, meaning Arizona State actually had more aces than errors. That doesn't happen very often. Stanford had 9 more errors than aces, so gave away 9 points. You're talking about a 10-point swing just from the service line, and that's the kind of team that Arizona State tries to be, dominate the game from the service line.
So in that first set, Arizona State had 2 aces, no service errors. They have a service error on the first point of set number 2. First set, 3 service errors for Stanford, no aces for Stanford, but the second set is a new set.
Yep.
It's a completely new story for Stanford as they get the ace.
And already an error from Arizona State, and already an ace from Stanford to start set 2.
Shields, Baird, Minor, the swing by Rubin, point Stanford, 3-0 start here in set 2.
Lots of Rubin, I think, is one of the big answers for Stanford. This is a team that is very pleasant, very consistent, very
You're so kind.
easy to play along with. And I think Elia Rubin gives them a nice little kick of fire that they might need here in set 2.
Drop down, Vicini and Kipp teaming up. 4-0 run to start the set for Stanford. Yeah, you can see Rubin even right there. She is very vocal. Kevin Hambley said yesterday that she's not afraid. She loves to fight, loves to compete. She's the one who's fired up and vocal. And he told her, I want more of that. We need more of that.
Yeah.
First point of the set for Jeter and the Sun Devils.
Good choice there by Shields as she's floating off the net to force it a little into the middle. That fast tempo attack out of the middle just creates more looks there.
Oh, that worked out well, didn't it? Shannon Shields.
Rubin decides to reach back and play that one, not sure if there's a defender behind her, and that's a decision they have to make as she leans over to talk to Ogilvy there. She doesn't want to play a ball that someone behind her has a cleaner look at.
Ogilvy in the serve receive. Minor tried to set it up quickly to Piccini. And Arizona State has answered the 4-0 run with a 3-0 run of their own.
Minor tries to come back to her middle blocker. We saw just moments ago Arizona State with a kill out of the middle. The connection not there, and you have to feel like on this one she's going to find Kendall Kipp.
Minor sends it back to Kipp. On the overpass, Piccini gets this one to go.
Not a kill for Kipp that time, really just an off-speed roll shot over the block. But at her height, the angles that she hits at are just different than what you're used to defending. And even on that shot, she creates an overpass.
Ogilvy to Sear. Jeter out of the middle with the kill.
And it's just such a great choice here by Shields because going to the middles is a great way to get one-on-one looks against a great blocking team. And as you see there, Stanford is waiting and reading and then trying to adjust to that and just not time to catch up with it.
Kipp. Shields, Levinska. Kipp again, off hands, and a point for Stanford.
Kendall Kipp's using that power to overcome a block that is well set in position, and yet she just blasts away.
And a service error for Stanford. That is their fourth. Shannon Shields will head back to serve for the Sun Devils. Minor, Rubin couldn't get it over the net. Arizona State was there defensively to tie it at 6.
They force Elliott Rubin to make first contact, and sometimes that can create a rhythm for an outside attacker. Sometimes they don't mind making first contact. And it looked like that was going to be the case for Elliott Rubin, but I think the placement of the set just put her in a position where she didn't have room to work around the block.
On this swing, Rubin a little far off the net. And now an attack from Sear, and a good response by Arizona State after falling behind 4-0 to start this second set.
Now with Levinska in the front row, you're not expecting a back row attack. That is a crafty little choice there by Arizona State to use Sear right down the middle.
Sammy Francis on the slide. Sent back Levinska. Ogilvy got there. Minor lays out. Shields back to Levinska. Dug out by Baird. Levinska again, no getting this one. Levinska with the kill, that's her third.
And Levinska coming alive. Now she's going to be in positive numbers after that third kill. Interestingly, the core of this team, we talked about the fact that J.J. Van Niel in his first year as coach, but the core of this team is the same team as a season ago. They had McLaughlin make a move to the middle. She played on the outside a season ago, and they picked up Schroll, their libero, out of the transfer portal. Aside from that, just a remake of a team that was really together a year ago.
Minor tries Rubin again. That's blocked out of play.
Rubin swinging with purpose and with authority as she just turns that one hard off the block.
Heads back to serve now for the Cardinal. Stanford has won 10 in a row. Their last loss was to Arizona State. Another service error, that's 5.
Not only do you have to side out at a high efficiency, but at some point you have to point score off of your own serve if you're going to make a run. And then you've seen a couple missed serves from Stanford, preventing them from stringing together some points.
Sear, dug out by Rubin. Attack from Kip. That's kill number 11 for Kendall Kip.
Great communication between Minor and Kip as they use her a couple different ways at her right back. Look at this time, coming down in front of the setter, almost down the middle of the court, running a bit away from that left side blocker. Good diversity in that back row attack. I really like that look.
Levinska blocked out of play. Point for Arizona State. Sun Devils took set 1, 25-22. They're hitting .357 in this second set after winning that first set, despite only hitting .051. Kip from the back row.
This is one bounce into the bleachers. She hammers this right down the middle. One block from Arizona State. And it looks like she's just swinging at an empty court.
On the overpass. Tied to 10.
And that might be just what Katie Baird needed to switch gears and sort of get things going after a rough first set. That's only going to be her second kill so far on the evening.
Levinska blocked out of play. Point Arizona State.
You can see the effort by Stanford there to turn the ball back in bounds as they're turning that one back toward the court, and the power of Levinska to go so hard off their hands that it sails beyond the court.
She has been so steady. She has missed just 2 matches in her 4 years with Arizona State. And that was due to illness. Stanford gets it back. They're tied at 11.
Another kill from Katie Baird, and when Stanford becomes very dangerous, when all of a sudden all 3 of their pins are killing balls.
Baird now with 3 kills, also has 8 digs and an ace. Ogilvy got there just in time. Dug out by Schroll, but out of play, and Stanford's back in front.
The pickup by Ogilvy is just elite for her to come in, make a play on this ball, and make a controlled play on this ball. Up in a position where her setter, look, she keeps herself from going under the net, controls the ball. We mentioned that Kendall Kip repeated as Pac-12 Player of the Year, while Ogilvy repeated as Pac-12 Libero of the Year.
Minor sets it back for Kip. Great job by Schroll to get there. Levinska just has to send it over. Almost got a point out of it. Levinska with the dig. Kip piling up the kills. That's 13 for Kip.
We are getting spoiled here. Defense all around. It has been an evening of great volleyball, and we still got more to go. Arizona up 1-0.
Trooper. They were in their seats hours ago,
yes.
But the problem was that Texas and Tennessee took 3 hours and 11 minutes to play their 5-set match. Out of the timeouts, it's a point for Stanford, back up on top by 3 here in the second set.
Vicini is a player who just does not often get the credit she deserves. She hits for such a high efficiency, leads the team in blocks, closes side to side, on and off the net. Just not the name that you maybe hear the most, but what a big contributor. 8
kills, hit 500 in that win over Houston. Tough one there for Sear to handle, but she got it off the Stanford block. So Jelly Sear will head back to serve. There's the Stanford block for the point to go back on top by 3. That's their 4th block.
Great close here by Vicini, who we mentioned just moments ago. Leans into that seam, and Kendall Kipp reaches in to take it away. The speed of the Arizona State offense can either work to their advantage or at times like that to their disadvantage, because if the ball is fast but it's tight, that big Stanford block is going to be hard to deal with.
Levinska gets the point for Arizona State. She's now up to a team high 6 kills.
2 of the most elite right side attackers in the nation. Kendall Kipp right-handed. Levinska, you get a little different look from her as she comes through with that left hand.
Levinska with 17 kills in each of the 2 sweeps for Arizona State in the first 2 rounds. Ruben with the big swing and the point for the Cardinal.
Good choice here by Cami Miner. It's a 3-hitter rotation. She has options, and the blockers have to wait and see where she's going to go. She shoots one quick to the outside, and Elia Ruben, who is pretty used to looking at 2 blockers, is very thankful to have that look into the angle.
Off the block, swing by Habello.
Habello fast, hard, and off blockers' hands. That is her specialty.
That's her 3rd kill. Shields set to serve. Miner for Sammy Francis. Now to Ruben. Ogilvy kept it alive. The point continues. And now the point ends. Levinska off the block for the point.
Shields does a great job. I mean, we felt like with a free ball, there's a good chance this is going to go to Levinska. But I like the fact that she puts a little air under it. Goes ahead and elevates it. She goes fast to her left sides, but gives Levinska a little more air under the ball.
Levinska gets an easy one there to tie it at 16.
Shields creating pressure from the service line, and this is where Arizona State can score points in a hurry when they can get hot from the service line.
Kipp from the back row, great dig by Shields. And off the block, the point for Stanford, Sammy Francis.
It goes Stanford's way, but credit Arizona State for making them work. They are forcing Stanford into longer rallies with huge digs like this one from Shields. Just steps in and takes that ball from Kendall Kipp.
Levinska's got another one. 7 kills this set for Marta Levinska.
After just 2, I believe, in set 1, correct? Yes, 7 now. And it's crazy to think that Arizona State won set 1 without the offense from Levinska.
Now they're getting it, and they need it because Stanford jumped out to a 4-0 lead. And now they're back in front, 18-17 here in set 2.
Katie Baird just looking at the defense. Huge hole in the middle. Doesn't always have to be the hard hit ball, just the ball that lands on the floor.
Here's Pringle to serve. Sear punches it deep. Minor to Baird. Shields to Sear. Levinska is blocked. Kept alive. Beautiful save by Arizona State. And it's a point for the Sun Devils. Great fight.
McLaughlin, the middle blocker, makes a dive along the net to keep this ball alive right here with her right hand, and then Schroll somehow is able to get it across the net. Incredible effort there from Arizona State. McLaughlin, as in the middle blocker, is a player who we said played on the outside last year. No one expected her to necessarily be playing in the middle this year, but coach said she earned it. And boy, it's plays like that you like to see.
Kip flies in for her 14th kill.
"14 kills and hitting above 400.
Good serve. Schroll kept it alive. The block, that's going to head out of play. Arizona State can't play that one. And Stanford is the first to 20.
And that, not the sort of swing that we're used to seeing from Marta Levinska. Not a lot behind that one. So I don't think the connection was there where she felt like she could take a quality rip.
Cami Minor with the serve. And it's an ace.
We mentioned that player for player, it's hard to find a roster that matches up with Stanford. Well, Cami Minor also repeated as setter of the year in the Pac-12.
Levinska, who has 7 of her 9 kills in this second set, but right now, Stanford on a little bit of a run. A 3-0 run to go up by 3. They go to Levinska. Now Sear. Oh, that came up and ate up Katie Baird. That ends the run. A kill for Sear. Point Arizona State.
Yeah, Katie Baird defensively sort of mid-court there where she could possibly pick up a tip. But that sharp angle shot from Sear just ate her up.
Minor to Kip. Great job by Schroll. Baird off hands. Jeter set to the middle. Schroll, another one that gets over the net. Now Kip blocked back. Out of play. Point Arizona State.
In this particular rotation, you'll often see Kendall Kip stay on the left side, Katie Baird stay on the right side. They'll just swing from those positions over the course of the rally. They do so here, but they get...
For Arizona State. Match before ours took 3 hours and 10 minutes to play. This match started 9:50 Pacific time. Baird. Sear blocked. 7th block for Stanford.
Kip and Vicini just waiting on her. And because Shannon Shields just has a quick reaction, a bump set to the outside, obviously the placement not quite there.
Jeter denied. Ogilvy bumps it over. Jeter couldn't get that one over. Now they try Sear. Minor goes back to who else but Kendall Kip.
Nice pickup there by Elia Rubin as Sear tries to shoot one along the net, and then the finish.
15 kills on 30 swings with 3 errors. Battle at the net, and Stanford won't get it over the net. Point for Arizona State.
Feels as though Levinska has gone a little quiet here late in this second set. She's in the back court. We'll see if they use her.
No using her here. It's a service error, and it's set point for the Cardinal. Ogilvy bumps it towards Kip. Blocked by Arizona State, but finished by Sammy Francis. And Stanford takes set 2.
Sammy Francis with the power tip leaves teams on to the regional final, as Oregon has already advanced, and of course one of these Pac-12 teams is hoping to join them.
Stanford starts the set with an ace. That's how set 2 started for Katie Baird and the Cardinal. Abello. Miner sets it for Rubin. Levinska dug out by Miner, tight to the net. Miner up for it. Rubin rolls it. Sear picks the spot.
Nice timing there by Shields to go on over. Her team is absolutely scrambling. She's on the run. She throws it away from the block and over the defense.
It was Shields, the setter, getting the point to tie it at 1. Jeter with the serve. Miner. Kip. Pancake. Beautiful save by Shields. Rubin off the block for the point.
Well, Coach J.J. Van Niel of Arizona State told us we have to be flying around defensively. And to credit Arizona State, they are doing that. It is just even more elite right now from Stanford, what we're seeing.
Ogilvy. Abello. Rubin. Off the tip. Point, Stanford.
Rubin blasting blockers' hands high and hard. That nice flat shot.
Shields with the rip for the point.
Shields at 5'10", and that might be with her shoes on as a setter. Turns on that one, uses the left-handed offense.
Shields involved in just about everything so far in set 3. Now serving. Sear. Bump back to Abello. Miner, the back set to Kip for the kill. 16 for Kendall Kip.
Eric, I look back at the box score in the last meeting between these two teams when Arizona State won 3-0, and Kendall Kip had 6 total kills in that entire match. She already has 16 here today.
Levinska. Again, blocked out of play. Point, Arizona State.
Swinging across her body and off the hands of Elia Rubin.
Jaden Ravensburg on the serve for Arizona State. And it's a good serve. Sear. Ogilvy can't get it. Point, Arizona State tied at 4.
Jelly Sear, that ball just hanging up in the air. Shields is forced to use a bump set as she runs through it. And Jelly Sear cuts it sharp inside the block. Really well played.
Joust at the net. Sent back over by Arizona State, and they're in front here in the 3rd.
Levinska that time choosing to send it over on 2. Doesn't let Shields set the ball, but instead 1 hit, 2 hits quick over, and is able to get it to the floor before that Stanford defense can get set.
ace for Arizona State to go up by 2.
And when we talk about being a good service team, it's so important to serve well in every rotation. Keep the pressure on those passers because half of the passing game is mental, and you want to wear them down just as much mentally as you do physically.
4-0 run right now for Arizona State. And Stanford ends the run.
And guess who? As Kevin Hambley said, what a luxury when we have to have her. We can go to Kendall Kipp. Well, Arizona State on a nice little run. They had to have it, and they find her in the back row.
Rubin delivers the serve, and it's an ace. That's the 4th for Stanford.
And they actually are ahead of Arizona State right now in terms of aces. And that is just an indicator. That is certainly not the complete picture because the aces don't always tell the story of how much pressure you're creating from the service line.
Levinska. Kipp will send it up into the crowd.
Thought Levinska got some nice pace on that one. There's been a few swings where it didn't feel like they had quite the connection they were looking for, where she's had to take a little something off of the ball.
Schroll. Baird goes long. Arizona State on top by 2. Grad student from Tempe, played at LMU the previous 4 seasons. Critical addition to this Arizona team at the libero spot. That one is off the Sun Devils. And Sammy Francis picks up the point she'll check out.
That'll put Sammy Francis back at 0. She was actually in negative numbers along with Katie Baird and McKenna Vicini. So not a whole lot of offense out of the middle right now for Stanford.
Minor, Kipp on the run. Minor, big swing by Baird. Went off Zadiska, and it's a point for Stanford.
Great response by Baird there after the error to come back with a kill. That's going to be 5 now to go along with 5 errors, so she's back to 0. But Cami Minor choosing to create a little more speed that time. Some nice tempo on the ball that she pushes out to Baird.
Vinska off the fingers. Schroll's been flying all over the gym and hitting the gym floor all night. This time she can't control it. And Stanford is back in front here in the 3rd.
And speaking of luxuries, the defense of Schroll for Arizona State is in a luxury right now. As you mentioned, she has been everywhere.
Pringle serves. Cheater for Sear. That's heading out of play, and it's a point for Arizona State.
And there's always a decision to be made there, right? If you're McKenna Vicini and you're coming down, she turns to make a play on that ball. The question is always, do I make a play on this ball or let the person behind me make? And you have to hear them behind you. They have to call you off if they're there. Vicini doesn't hear anyone. She tries to play the ball. It's a really difficult ball for her to play on her way down. She can't control it. So there has to be good communication. If the defender coming in behind can make a play on the ball, they have to call her off there.
Slight delay to mop up the floor. And here is Levinska back to serve. Levinska does have 1 ace tonight. He was 4th in the Pac-12 in aces this season. Minor looks for the point, and she gets it. Cami Minor, that's her first kill tonight, her 70th of the season. Pac-12 Center of the Year for the 2nd consecutive season. Had 60 assists in that 5-set win against Houston, tying her career high. ready to serve with Stanford in front, even in a set apiece here in the third. Sear. Too much for Ogilvy to handle, and we're tied again.
Sear just unloads on this, and she and Shields have found great rhythm with the speed of their attack. It's not so fast that it's error prone, gives her room off the net to swing. Really nice connection.
Gibbs had harder swings on the night. That soft one will count just as much as the hard ones did all evening long. 18th kill for her.
And another issue of communication that we saw similarly from Stanford moments ago. This time, it is between Levinska and the off attacker there, as two players in position to likely make a play on that ball, and I think they hesitate, not knowing who's going to take it.
Minor gets blocked back. Battle at the net, won by Rubin and Stanford.
And you see Rubin there celebrate because she's had a few situations at the net where she's been used, and finally she gets the better of one of those.
12 kills for Rubin, hitting at 300, also has 9 digs. Habello turns it down. Good rip by Roberta Habello, the senior from Brazil. Texas coaching staff checking things out here. They will take on the winner of this match coming up on Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern time on ESPNU. That's Rubin again.
Make it 13 now for Rubin. And she has the hot hand all of a sudden for Stanford. One dig away from a double-double. No surprise from what we've seen from Elia Rubin so far in the tournament.
4 kills this set for Rubin. Levinska. Minor to Francis. That's still up. Caught the scoreboard, and it's a point for Stanford.
And I mean just barely grazed the scoreboard, unfortunately, for Habello, who made a nice play on that.
You can see the scoreboard hanging down. The underside just got brushed by that ball, went over the other side of the net. 14-11. Habello locked. Schroll got knocked back a couple of steps defending that swing. Rubin, great job by Rubin. Sent it deep. Sear did all she could, couldn't get there, and Rubin fired up. 15-11 Stanford out of the media timeout here in the third set. Thank you for being with us here tonight. 11:14 on the West Coast. And for those of you watching in the Eastern time zone, you're our kind of people.
Yes, thank you.
You're our kind of people. And we're going to have a challenge here out of the timeout. Going to challenge in or out on that call.
Call would stand. And it does.
That motion with the arm, that diagonal motion, says, yep. Inconclusive, the point call stands. So Stanford down to 1 challenge. Minor to Kip. That's number 19.
It amazes me that McLaughlin was not playing in the middle a season ago. She's done such a nice job at the net from side to side. She gets a deflection on that, but because of Kendall Kipp's ability to go hard and high off hands, the ball still travels well over the defense.
Good quick offense, setting the middle to Maddie McLaughlin.
And there she is again, McLaughlin, the player who, as we said just moments ago, did not play in the middle last season. Very limited playing time. They needed a middle this year, and she has made that transition. Earned her spot, coach said, and what a fun season to be a part of the ride.
Rubin. Shields kept it in play. Levinska off hands. Back to Rubin. Sear goes off speed. Minor for Baird. Levinska for the point.
Mary Schroll is such a key piece of the puzzle for Arizona State, and she is the player that they had to fill that role of libero, and they were able to pick her up from LMU. She returned home to Tempe, her hometown.
Dug out by Ravensburg. Baird, Minor, Rubin. I think we're gonna have a challenge, and we will.
The net now, so physical, so much fun.
And it is a net violation, so a successful challenge by Arizona State. Sammy Francis knows.
Yeah.
She tried to have a straight face out there, not to give anything away, but she knows.
Not until the call is made, and then you'll usually see them break the straight face for a moment.
(16-15). Service error for Arizona State. That's their third.
And after that delay in play on a challenge that goes your way, it's always a bummer to give it right back to them.
Rubin with the serve. Sear. Minor sets it back. That's off hands. Schroll got to another one. Can you believe it? But McLaughlin just couldn't clear the net. What an effort by Mary Schroll. Flying that little opening next to where we are.
She has just been a pleasure to watch. She's all over the floor, Eric, but with such control. She controls that ball so well.
18-15. Caught the tape. Levinska. Battle at the net. Minor sets it back for Kipp, who has to reset her feet. Guess who? Schroll flying in again. Baird missed the mark. Point Arizona State.
And surprisingly, Katie Baird has just been a little error prone. 6 kills, but 6 errors to go along with it. Has yet to find her groove.
18 total attack errors for Stanford. That's the 4th service error for Arizona State. Anna Pringle, sophomore from La Jolla, on to serve. Quickly worked. Stanford there defensively in the back row. There's Baird. Another one that's off the mark. And another point for Arizona State.
The set there from Cami Minor to Katie Baird just didn't look right. Katie Baird either early or the set just over her shoulder. You see she has to reach back behind her, and that's what causes the ball to travel out of bounds over the antenna. Katie Baird missed the the beginning of the season. Kip is going to get a touch call on that one, and so a much needed side out there for Stanford as Arizona State was starting to mount a run. But back to Katie Baird, she had missed the beginning of the season with some injury, and so sometimes you'll see players who have missed part of the season go through some ups and downs.
Sear flying in to try to save it was Minor. It's a point for the Sun Devils. Jelly Sear heads back to serve for Arizona State. Minor to Baird. This time they're synced up, and it pays off with a Baird kill.
Big time look from Baird right here. Perfectly in unison with Cami Minor. Great choice there behind. Lots of space in that block.
Baird been good from the service line today. Levinska. Oh, man. Lot on that one.
Heavy arm that time for Levinska. She racks up her 14th kill now, hitting .306.
Claire Jeter to serve for Arizona State. Rubin. Sear blocked back. Piccini and Kip team up for the block.
Great block help there from Kendall Kip, who is such a capable defender at the net that of course you want her up on any back row attack.
Eight blocks now for the Cardinals, 6 for Arizona State. 22-19. And a timeout now called by 24 kills for Tennessee as the Lady Vol season comes to a close. What a match. Here's Levinska on a timeout, and here's a block. Francis Rubin at the net for the Cardinal.
This particular rotation has trouble written all over it for Arizona State. Only 2 attackers, and it's McLaughlin, who we have aforementioned did not play in the middle last year. And then Cabello out here on the left side. So they're outside in their middle, who are not as offensive. Out of that timeout, they went to Levinska to try to save him here in this rotation. Do they do the same thing?
Set point for the Cardinal. Ogilvy to serve. McLaughlin denied by Stanford. Kip. Arizona State still alive.
And you see the pump of the fist there by Levinska, trying to get a little mojo on Arizona State's side. Even if they drop this set, it'd be nice to make a little push here and create some momentum moving forward.
Elliot Rubin says there'll be no momentum on my watch for you, Arizona State. Rubin gets the kill. 15 kills.
And get pushed to a 5th set. And Coach Hambley said to us, hey, we talk about these things. We have to live in the moment. This is what it feels like to die. This is what it feels like to have your season on the line. He said they're human. They feel all of that. And we got to learn to play through it. And sometimes it's the best thing that can happen to you is to have a match like that early in the tournament, battle through, take that weight off your shoulders and move on forward.
Fourth set is underway, and it starts with a Kendall Kipp kill. That's her 21st. And you know very well, you were in this building calling the NCAA tournament last year when San Diego ended Stanford's season in 5 sets.
Yeah, and they had match point in set 4, or no, excuse me, we're up 23-22, I believe, in set 4. Had an opportunity to shut the door, and San Diego came storming back. And so this is a team that maybe needed to learn to finish, and this fourth set becomes very interesting to me. Can they keep their focus up 2-1? They tend to look like a team who at times loses focus when they're winning. So can they keep their focus here? I think it's really important for this Stanford team to keep their focus over the course of the fourth set and go ahead and shut the door here.
Abello McLaughlin shut the door on the block for Arizona State to get their first point of the fourth set. Minor to Rubin, saved, but not over. Point Stanford. Another great effort by Arizona State to at least keep that point going as long as they did.
Look at this defensive effort by Arizona State. That they know that is how they compete against teams who are bigger, more physical than they are. It is with all-out defensive effort, and they've put it forth.
Minor over to Kipp. Minor goes to Francis in the middle for the kill.
Hasn't been an abundance of offense out of the middle for Stanford, but boy, in transition is a good time to get it going. And I love the fact that Sammy Francis is off the net and transitioning hard there over the course of a rally.
Off the hand, Sear gets the kill.
That's a block I would not like to meet. Sammy Francis alongside Kendall Kipp, and yet Sear, because of the speed of their offense, is able to compete. Nice, quick arm, and she finds a seam.
Here's Schroll. That one's going to sail long. Fifth service error for Arizona State. Kendall Kipp back to the line. Led the Pac-12 this season in aces. Levinska. Set for Kipp. Ogilvy with the dig. Minor to Rubin.
Ogilvy stepping into the angle, and as I said of Schroll moments ago, Ogilvy as well. They don't just make first contact, they control first contact. It's what sets them apart.
Service error number 7 for Stanford. Levinska back to serve. Fourth-year senior from Riga, Latvia. That's going to go long.
And we have seen Marta Levinska get hot from the service line over the course of this match and create a lot of issues for Stanford. So a big sigh of relief from the passing line as that one sails long.
On the overpass, Stanford takes advantage. Up by 4 early here in the fourth.
Elliot Rubin for Stanford this time, putting pressure on the pass.
Set back Levinska. And ducking out of the way just in time. Bit of a matrixy move there to avoid the contact. And I think we're going to have a challenge here that there was a touch by Stanford. And yes, Arizona State is challenging. I mean, Rubin just leaping out of the way. Did she make any contact? Was there any contact at the net, perhaps from Francis? It's going to be what they're looking at here. You've got Baird and Francis at the net. You've got Rubin bailing out. Now this is a quick challenge. Oh, there's the touch right there. Francis, right? That was a quick review, too. Look up and they're done. So, successful challenge by Arizona State. Point for the Sun Devils.
Did you notice how shallow in the court Elia Rubin was there yesterday in practice? Coach Hambley said to her, "I love your courage," stepping into the middle of the court ready to take a blast, but he was egging her to stay deeper, to play balls high off the blocker's hands. That's not the case there, and that's why she was stepping up into the court.
Cheater at the net with the block.
The pass by Katie Beard, and then right back to her. And off of the bump set, that ball ends up high and tight inside, and Jeter all over it.
Service error again for Arizona State. Kevin Hambley's team dropped set one. Arizona State had a couple of aces in that first set, but Stanford taking sets two and sets three. And a net violation on Stanford. And I think Kevin Hambley's going to challenge this one.
The players say no. Kevin Hambley says to them, "I can read his lips."
Oh, you said no? Wait, who said no? They should have said no to the challenge, because that was a quick review, and Stanford has used their final challenge of this fourth set. So that's it. If we go to a fifth set, they will be granted one challenge. So we're early here in the fourth set. Ogilvie tried, could not save it. And here come the Sun Devils. Back down by one.
We saw the Tennessee libero on a diving play earlier tonight, injured.
They're giving
and now
Ogilvie
it's
just a moment. It looked like Missy just to gather herself. She seems to be okay. Jay Torres went out with an injury for Tennessee, and Lady Vols scrambled and pieced it together. Had a match point in the fourth set, but Texas fought off that match point and ended up winning in 5. That's a point for Stanford.
Point, Stanford. Now serving for the Cardinal, number 2, Cami Minor.
Cami Minor back to serve for the Cardinal. Violation.
The fans felt like there should have been a double hit contact called against Arizona State. It was not, and instead they get a net violation against the Cardinal, and they don't like that either.
There's Shields. Minor, Kip for the kill. 22 for Kendall Kipp. That's a new season high. She reached 21 kills 3 times this year. It's the 6th time she's gone for 20 or more this season, and now she's 1 kill shy of her career high.
And just an appreciation shout out for Cami Minor, who going to her knees well off the net has so much strength in that set to hang it up there for Kendall Kipp.
Ace. Katie Baird has been strong from the line tonight. That's her 3rd service ace.
And it just feels like Stanford starting to pull away here.
Out of the timeout, Katie Baird ready to serve again for Stanford here at Maples Pavilion at Stanford University. Eric Freed, Missy Whittemore, and our tremendous hard-working crew who should put in for overtime tonight. Ooh, there's a block. Good job by McLaughlin at the net.
Big play out of the timeout for Arizona State. Come out, score points defensively. See if you can create a little momentum.
Ravensburg serves it at Baird. Rubin set beautifully by Minor, and Rubin's got her 18th kill.
What a great choice by Cami Minor, able to hold the middle blocker. These nice steady hands. They've got that middle attack coming down with Vicini there, and instead sends it right past her to the outside, and big cross-court swing from Elia Rubin.
That's 50 total kills in the NCAA tournament so far for Rubin. Cross-court, tied at the net. That worked out well, and maybe better than it should have for Arizona State, and they know it.
And again, fans here in the stands do not agree. They feel like there's been a couple missed contacts, double contacts on second ball for Arizona State that the officials have let go.
Rubin. That's another one for Rubin. Closing in on 20. She had a career-high 23 last time out in that 5-setter against Houston.
Rubin playing off the approach of Sammy Francis, who you see right there, 17 in white. Sammy coming hard in front, and Rubin just over her shoulder for somewhat of a front little X there.
Sear off the block for the point.
And we said before the break, it feels as though Stanford's starting to pull away, but I'll tell you what, never count Arizona State out. This is a team, people were looking to their first round match against Georgia, kind of had it circled, thinking, oh, this is gonna be really competitive. Well, their first 2 rounds were not competitive because Arizona State blew right through those first 2 rounds without dropping a set, and here they are in the regional.
Punching back now against Stanford. That win over Georgia, a sweep, was their first NCAA tournament win since 2014, and Arizona State hit 427 in that sweep. Followed that up with an impressive performance against BYU at a very tough place for teams to play, Smith Fieldhouse. Sammy Francis, Shields, Baird got there. Minor sets Rubin again. Backhanded over, Rubin has it, Minor, Francis. Francis sent it back.
And Sammy Francis, I don't know what I like better, the play at the net or her reaction to her teammates, but she brings these fans to their feet.
She's like, how did that drop kind of face? And like, oh, it dropped, yeah, let's celebrate. Levinska blocked. Francis and Baird teaming up at the net.
And you're seeing Sammy Francis in the middle. Watch her. She's waiting, waiting. The set is made. And such great movement to her left. Closing that block. That is hard to do when you're reading and then releasing. Your first step has to be solid.
11 team blocks for Stanford. And when you're hot, you're hot. Elia Rubin got plenty of tape, but it had enough to get over for the ace. That's hitting the scoreboard, but it came down on the Arizona State side, so it's still in play, but not much that Arizona State could do with it after that, and it's 17-12. And Arizona State will use their final timeout. We talked about
Houston match, it almost felt like they dodged a bullet. It didn't feel like they were in control.
point for Arizona State.
Jeter does such a nice job here of staying with her setter, traveling along the net. And you see Sammy Francis trying to follow, but leaning. That block is leaning. That's why Jeter has the advantage.
Baird. Great job by Sear. Minor looks for the kill. Now Minor looks for the assist. Minor to Francis.
And again, for Stanford, we're seeing success for the middle, in particular in transition. This is exactly when Cami Minor wants to find her. Over the course of a long rally, it's easy to lose sight of your defensive assignments, and for your backcourt defense, just no time to prepare for that attack from Sammy Francis.
Set back Levinska, and Kip was there, but couldn't handle it. That's a kill for Levinska. That's number 16 for her.
And you saw that reaction from Kip herself as she looks up at the board trying to see it again. She's thinking, I was right where I needed to be.
Jeter to Baird, Minor to Vicini. Out of play, point Stanford.
Cami Minor, I'll tell you what, she relied on Kip a little bit early when things were shaky for the Cardinal. But as Coach Hambley said, we want to spread it around if we can. And right now they can, and Cami Minor getting everyone involved.
Levinska. Minor with the dig. Ogilvie to Baird. Arizona State with the point.
Katie Baird trying to put a little something on that, even though it's an out-of-system ball off the net, and I can appreciate that.
Shannon Shields back to serve for Arizona State. Minor to Kip. Great job by Arizona State to get it up, stay in this point. Minor to Baird.
And Cami Minor just having fun now, showing off her weapons, seeing if she can get a kill for everybody here.
Minor over 50 assists on the night, up to 52 now, and Katie Baird into double figures with 10 kills. Shields to Levinska. That's number 17 for Marta.
The high, deep corner. That is the sweet spot if you can find it.
Ravensburg to serve. Kip. Stanford sides out again.
Such steady passing right now against this Arizona State team who can be so dangerous from the service line, and we're just seeing nice, consistent passing now from Stanford.
That one is wide, and Stanford is closing in on a match win. Just 3 points away now.
Good block set up by Kendall Kip. Just daring Sear to try to swing down the line.
Shields back for Levinska. Dropped down by Francis and by Rubin.
The length at the net of Sammy Francis is on her way down. She just taps it right back at him.
12 team blocks now for the Cardinal. Shields works it quickly to Maddie McLaughlin for the kill.
Good look by Maddie McLaughlin there in front on serve, receive.
Mary Schroll. Ogilvy sets it over to Kip. Schroll. Another up for her. Punched over the net by Sear. They look for Kip again, but that's going to be off the mark.
When the ball's coming over your shoulder in transition, it's a high ball that you're receiving out of the back court. It's just difficult to find your bearings on the floor, exactly where you are and where you're swinging.
Schroll clips the tape. Rubin. Sear. 3 straight points for Arizona State, and Stanford will take a timeout. Second meeting, Pitt with a reverse sweep. Louisville had a match point. That point difference, the difference between who's hosting between Pittsburgh and Louisville.
And Stanford hoping for a rematch here as well, as they would like to play Texas again.
Arizona State building some momentum. It's not too late for a team that we've seen go on runs during this season where they have picked up 28 wins. 4 straight points here. And it ends with a service error.
Great communication there between Baird and Elia Rubin. Rotation side by side. Elia Rubin, Katie Baird, Elena Ogilvy. It can create a lot of rhythm, but you have to feel like it can also create a lot of pressure, and that they never get a mental break from passing. They have to be locked in the entire match.
You talked about it before, the pressure, and it's building up here a little bit here late in the 4th set on Stanford. Mary Schroll has been all over this court tonight. That one is long. It is a service error, and it is now match point for Stanford. And it's an ace. The Cardinal win in 4. They'll take on Texas in the regional final on Saturday.
The final Pac-12 meeting between these